We could do an elevated bypass. Ooh, what if we did it? But there we go. I think that's actually a really strong start to this little city. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing a kind of new city. This area here is going to become a new city. It's technically still a part of Walden. If we just turn around, right across the bay, we have our beautiful city of Walden, which is looking great. It's starting to grow. I'm liking that we can see some larger buildings popping up over on this side, and it's going to slowly continue out that way and this way. But for today, we're going to take a break from Walden. We've been doing so much over there. It's time for something new. I'm thinking these blocks right here are going to become our new city. And here is why. If we look at the topography map, which, can I bring that up through here? Am I crazy? I know I can bring it up through this menu. So here, if I bring up this map, you can see that of this area, we've got a lot of flat sections along the sides. This is pretty thin and it runs right into the highway. But over here, we have a pretty decent area that's flat, as well as over here. My concern with doing another city right here is that it would be so close to Walden, it just wouldn't make sense. So I'm thinking the new city is going to start off in this area. And we're going to jump right in today. I want to get a few things done. I want to build out some more residential. That's kind of the focus of this city. I want to get some highway connections. I want to bring a train over here, and I want to get a ferry to connect across the river. So let's just kind of get started and see what happens here. If I turn on our contour lines, I'm going to start with, I think, a large road. We're going to do a 6-lane divided road, and that's going to be kind of the centerpiece road for this city. It's going to end up connecting into the highway here somewhere. I'm almost wondering if it goes kind of along this direction. We have one long road that comes along, and this is going to be kind of our starting road. So I'm going to place that, I think, right there. It's a huge road, but I think we can make it work. Then with that in place, I think I'm going to try to use the grid tool and just go ahead. It's going to be a very straight gridded city. But I want to use this space to the best of my ability. So if I was to bring this straight on down to here, 288 meters. I'm trying to look at the contour lines over here in this corner here, right before that starts going up. But we also have these ones to contend with. So maybe what we do is we send this out to here, just like so. I can go ahead and continue this right on through as well. Or no, maybe I need to do it off of this road. There we go. It keeps that second road down there the same. We'll place another block right there. And then I do think I need some kind of, quote unquote, major road going this way. And I'm wondering if that road goes from here. But this will only be a 4-lane road. And I'm going to keep these as... I don't want that one. I want this one. I'm going to keep these as divided because I want to try to make this area look a little bit prettier. So I want to fill all these medians with trees and make this look real nice. Real nice. Now, if I send this direction, I think what I'll do is I'll give this section a bit of a curve and we'll send this down just like so. Okay. So that's kind of a loose set of, larger hierarchical roads. And then I'm going to go back to the grid tool and I'm just going to continue what we've already started. If I go from here and I go back 144 and I just send this just along the side here to match. I want them to connect with the others. Although why is it acting like it can't find the same? Okay. I guess we'll do this by hand. That's fine. Let's go back 144. I'm going to send this connection right down and into here. And then I'm going to send this straight on up, probably to, I think, here maybe? Place this here. Then what I want to do is I also want to remove some of the connections that are tying into the main arterial. So we're going to get rid of these roads. We're going to get rid of these roads here. Instead, let's give this little section here a small curve and bring it in to connect to this road here. I'm going to bring this up to about here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this over. Maybe to here. I basically want to recreate the exact same curve. Like that's a perfect curve in my opinion. I think that's gorgeous. If I was to go like this and send it in, that actually works really nice. I like that a lot. Okay, great. So that fills all that in. Now, by deleting the spaces there, I do think I want to have another road in the middle. And maybe it leans more towards this side. That way we're just getting a full breadth of zoning. I almost wonder if it continues along this direction or not. I'm not entirely sure what I think about that. And then on this side, we can do the same thing. We can send this road right along this way. It makes that ladder block a little bit smaller. It's only 6 large, but that gives us a space for the larger buildings on the main road, and then we have the smaller buildings on the side. This 8-lane road is kind of dead-ending is strange, so I think at this point we will reduce this to 4 lanes. Can I do one that has, ooh, you know what? 4-lane angled road with parking. What if we did a road here that had parking? It reduces the lane count, and then there's some parking here as we get closer to the water. I don't know what's going to go there yet, but something will go there. Now, that's going to be like the rough start, right? That's the initial set of roads we've got. I got to figure out how we're going to get some other connections in here. Namely, I guess we could start with the highway. That's going to be a pretty straightforward build. Do I just go ahead and buy the tiles? Why not? Right? Like, we've got the money. Let's just buy the tiles, call it a day. I would kind of like to use the intersections. Let's go ahead and unlock those. I normally don't use them, the pre-builts, but I'm wondering if this would be a great spot for it. Trumpet roundabout, medium capacity suburban 3-way hybrid interchange with a connection to a local road. A T-shaped highway intersection capable of supporting high traffic amounts. Like, honestly, this is just kind of what I want to put right here. Okay, we've got to actually buy a whole lot more land. So I'm basically going to delete all of this, and maybe even send this back a little bit further to there. We'll slap this guy right on here. And again, I don't often use the pre-built ones, but I'm going to try it out today. 2-lane, 1-way highway, parallel roads, just like so. We're going to put on continuous curve. And I essentially just need to get this down this way. If I go here, actually might be too much of a curve. Please hold. All right. We're just going to use the curve tool instead. Curve. 180, 180, curve. All right, so now we're reconnected back up, but we've added in a highway interchange. I mean, they are so much easier to use. I am a fan of it for that reason alone. All right, then here, we're basically going to send this so that it ends up connecting into that road. I'm going to send it straight down about here, I think. And then at this point is where we'll go ahead and switch over into our 8-lane road. Although 8 lanes is actually not necessary. What we could do instead is switch over to a 4-lane road, which we could snap kind of right to the loose middle here. Turn this back on. It would take a while for it to get to this point, but I do want this to have a little bit of movement, so maybe we do a complex curve. We send this out to this point, we send it over to here, and then we connect up and in. I think we go right into the middle. Because then what that will allow us to do is we can let this expand to 8 lanes from 4. As we're adding in more connections, I think it will eventually make sense. At the moment, does it? Probably not. That's okay, though. All right, let's do... I don't want to do parallel. I'm just going to give this a curve in, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. We'll just call it a day. Do I keep the light here? I don't think there's a reason to have a light or a crosswalk. We can get rid of both of those. Because you're just going to feed right into here. And now you're in the heart of the downtown of whatever this place is going to be called. We already have a train depot. Right? Somewhere. We've got trains here, trains here, trains here, trains here. I guess this is the depot back here. This has 11 vehicles that we can use. How easy would it be for me to add on more? Kind of easy. I have just enough space to add additional. Does it tell me how many more vehicles? 4. Okay, so we're fine with our current depot. We just now need to create a train station. Part of me thinks this little spot here, what's that grading look like? Yeah, part of me thinks it could go right here in this space, or it could go here. The problem is if it goes here, then it doesn't really afford me the option to send it over this direction. But if it goes facing along this road, I can easily send that train out this way as we potentially expand, other areas over here. I'm thinking we place it facing that way. How we get through, though, I don't yet know. We're going to have to figure that out. If I was to do... Oh, the French one is tiny, but it's kind of cute. We also have the EE Central Train Station. Ooh, a little bit larger, but I like that there's kind of like a park aspect to that in the front. Central train station, way too large for this area. Elevated bypass. We could do an elevated bypass. Send that elevation right on through and then bring it back down to the ground. Do we come back down? We do come back down because this begins to go up. Ooh. What if we did it? Would I want it to come right off the main road? I don't think so, because you see how it's trying to add another intersection right to the left of Elk Street. So I think instead, what we do is we do a 2-lane one-way road. I think we use the curve tool. We send this up 32 units. Send it over 32 units. Send it straight however long it has to go so we can fit this in here. I mean, honestly, what if I just did that? What would that look like? So if I was to come out... Well, please hold. If I was to send this from here straight along to where this other road ends, and then we were to send this out 32-ish by 32-ish, we then have a nice curve and it's a turn-off lane for everyone trying to go to this train station. I think I'm a fan of that. Then we grab our train line. We send it straight on over. Turn on this parallel tool. Can I get this to go over top? I don't actually want it to go to the ground, though. Like, I want this to basically stay at 0. I mean, 0.1. That's as close to 0 as we're going to get. We'll send it right along to here. We'll send it right along to here. We're still at negative 0.1. We're going to have to turn on anarchy for this portion, mainly just because we are outside of the city. But then I want to bring this down to, again, stay as close to 0 as possible. There's another 0.1, so we are going slowly down. And now we're back at 0. Look at that. Now, where's our train? Ooh, our train is all the way over there. Do we go back up again? No, this is now going down again. Which, if I just was to take this straight slope and we let it go back down, is that going to add... It's going to add a little bit of a key wall. I think I'm okay with that. And then this needs to connect in on both sides here. And probably the best way to do that is really to raise the highway section there. So what if we do this? We remove these portions of highway with the intention of raising them in a moment here. We get our curve tool. We send it out. We curve over. Simple. We get our curve tool. We send it out. And we curve it over. Simple. Although, actually... Oh, I have to build this with anarchy. Right, because we're not actually in our city limits anymore. Got a little bit of a kink in it, but that's okay. There we go. Now we're definitely above the train lines. Still just barely, but manageable amount. Now, I am going to just quickly throw on keys a little bit further along this. I just think it looks a little bit nicer when there's a bit more key on both sides. It makes it feel sturdier, in my opinion. And I like the way that looks. Should I also just go here with it? It's such a small spot, because then the raised section is just above the track. Yeah, I'm fine with that. This really needs a curve, guys. This really needs a curve. Luckily, though, we know exactly what's going to go here. So this is actually going to be quite easy. We're going to do a curve tool. We're going to put the keys on both sides. Come out to here. Curve it in. Yeah, that's much nicer. All right, so now we've got a train connection. I want to look at my different passenger train lines. Which ones do we have going here already? Is it just this purple? And then this purple actually goes out of the city. Or can I just move it? Is it as simple as I just drag that to here? It is. So now that train line goes to there, which means we need a new external train line. Can this go over there? No, this has a bypass lane in it. So then we're just going to take a train from here, send that right back out to whatever external city that is, and send it right back over. Call that a day. Now, before I forget, we're probably going to need to give this area a name. So why don't we just district it now? This is going to be one city, this area. So it's going to all be the same district. City of Toll. There's a book next to me. The author's last name is Toll. So that's what we're going to do. City of Toll. Okay. That looks pretty nice. Now, we got to get power and electric over here because before we do anything else, or excuse me, power and water. Before we do anything else, we have got to get her connected up. I kind of want to send it under the highway. I know it's like a long roundabout way to do this. And I got to have on anarchy for it, but that's okay. We're going to do continuous curve. All right, so now our water is connected up. Beautiful. And then we got to do power. For power, I kind of just want to send a large, I'm going to do the same thing and send the power line like straight across. I'm tempted to say, though, we need two things. I almost want a transformer station over in this area. We would have to get high voltage lines over to it, which we have some going over here into this transformer. But what if those lines were to continue somehow and feed another transformer? There definitely could be a transformer over here. What if I grabbed like a small little alleyway road? We'll even get rid of the crosswalks and the light. Like there's no reason for this to be a space where you cross. You can cross down here. There's nothing on this other side for you to have to cross to. Then we put a little transformer station, turn anarchy back off. Transformer station right here. It's kind of out of the way, right? It's tucked in a smaller section. And I'm thinking we actually just bring this line, which has a ton of power coursing through it. We somehow bring that line over. If I grab onto this and I send this up and I turn everything else off. Can you connect over here? You can. I could then find a way to sneak you right through here. But I do like having them visible. It's a part of a city is having power lines. And honestly, that's a great place for it. It's right along the highway. It's not really impacting the people who live in these areas. That's great. So then we have a new transformer station helping send power out and about to the rest of the city. Or so I think. Is it even connected up? It is. All that power is just being diverted. But once we take this and we continue it along, it can only go up to 10, which poses a slight challenge. Back here's a parking lot. So we could absolutely get it to go over that parking lot. I know we can. Come on. Right there. And then we can send this back down to 0. Send this along the side of this highway. And then I'm just going to click all the way along until we reach the other side of the map. And we reach the city of Toll. All right. And then I think somewhere off of here, we have a little service road that comes on out. Again, we'll turn the lights off. We'll turn the crosswalks off. There's no reason for those in this area. We'll place another transformer right there, and we'll connect this up into here, which should then feed a ton of power over here because now we've got, yes, we love to see it. It's all powered up. All right, so that is, it's by itself. It looks a little strange, but we'll make it work. So now we've got trains in here. Now we've got pathway or roads. Now we've got power and we've got water. I think we probably need to get ready to start doing some zoning. But before we do, let's also add in a ferry, and then we'll basically be fully connected up and ready to go. I want to use the ferry terminal in this area. It needs to be along a road. I am considering either placing it here on this corner. It would be far away from the train, but that's okay. And then we could connect it into this little section. Or I place it over here. It's much closer to the train, but I don't necessarily love the location. I think this is maybe the perfect spot for it. I'm going to place this right here. Let's figure out how we're connecting this into the rest of this. Honestly, I mean, this road right here definitely can just go straight up. Although it would intersect right in the center, which I don't love. Because I do like the idea of the road like going along the side here. And better yet, what if it was a road that had parking included? Like we just have parking right in the front. Oh, no, I want the regular road. Yeah, we have parking right in the front. This already has parking. It can also get a ferry terminal pier and then a bus terminal, which we will put a bus terminal in here. Let's actually expand the pier out. I've turned Anarchy back off, so I think we're good there. Now we have this nice long ferry pier that leads over there. Okay. Now, with the roads, I'm going to do continuous. And I'm going to snap to the center. What I'm thinking we do is we send this road down. We send it up, and we connect it right in like that. It changes how this little area works, but I'm okay with that. Maybe this one comes up and connects in just like this. That takes your 4 lanes that we've reduced to here and gives you a left and a right. And kind of gives you a more meaningful dead end to that part of the city. Here you've got to turn. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It also just changes this grid shape a little bit, which is nice. And we could consider sending this straight on out here, giving it a bit of a curve kind of along the side of the slight hill that's there. Or better yet, we just send this straight along like this, and then we connect into that so that we're still kind of matching the rest of the grid we have going on here. If I just send this up to here, connect it in like that, send this guy straight from here down to here, and then that road can go out and do something. Yeah, that works. I'm a fan. I am a fan. Let's grab our ferry line tool. And I am thinking this is fish. We actually no longer have a ferry stop over here in Blackwood Pier. But we do have a ferry stop right here. Look at that ferry. Like, are you good? Are people getting on? Are you frozen? That's just how you load. Oh, that's so great. You did such a good job there. We're very impressed. I'm tempted to maybe cut right through this center bit. If I grab this, can I change? Yes, I can change the size. If I just kind of move this in, I can open up a channel that should let me connect right up and into here. We can also connect right over into here, so there's an easier line to get through. Slap on Anarchy real quick. We'll do our continuous curve. And where are we trying to get to? Right over there. I think we're just going to kind of curve over this way. Line it up. And send it straight in. No? What if I do the complex curve? And we go like this. And then we turn Anarchy back off. Send that straight in. For this one here, we'll do the same thing where we'll just connect it in. We're not going to use that particular line, but that's okay. Grab this guy. Let's make this a really light green color. Or what if we made it like a deep green color? Although we're on the water. So maybe we make it like a midnight blue color with a little bit of gray in it. Just to change it up a bit. Send this over. It's going to connect right into this stop, which actually might need to be expanded into a larger terminal in the future. Oh my God, wait a minute, hold on. This has a bus terminal. We could combine these two things and turn it into a bus terminal. We might be coming back to do that. We've got all the infrastructure in place. So let's figure out what we're going to do over here. I think we'll start with services, just so we know this area is fully covered. I definitely want to have a hospital over here. I do like the UK hospital. Like, this is a great building. We've got our contour lines on. Is there almost a block where this would fit? Oh, the blocks there are just too short. It could go along one of these and take up that whole space. Or we could place it along here. Although I could see like just this area having a huge, huge park. But I think we're going to name it Pollock Park. So we have Pollock Park in the city of Toll. We've already got our train still going through. I want to check it again. 31. So people are kind of on it. Not too much though. Let's get back to placing down our services. Now we could have the hospital right here on the water, which would look nice. But I'm almost tempted to have the hospital kind of tucked into one of these blocks. Actually, the hospital would fit in this section perfectly. And these blocks, to be fair, don't make a whole ton of sense. If I placed this here, what are the upgrades? Are they add-ons? They're add-ons, right? We've got parking right in front. We could also upgrade this road to have parking along the side as well. Because it's a hospital, they're going to need additional parking. So there's parking around the hospital. And then we can add on 2 additions, the children's ward and the cancer care center. I'm half tempted just to do them. I feel like I'll forget if I don't. But this hospital is going to work in these 2 areas for now. We also then need to get some death care in here. I wouldn't mind doing a Netherlands cemetery, and the cemetery could be a part of Pollock Park. Like, what if we were to do maybe the cemetery entrance? Should it be along the diagonal? Or should it kind of fill in this little area? I think it goes along the diagonal. And part of Pollock Park is the cemetery that services this section. Now, I've not built a cemetery before. So what do we need to do? Build the crematorium. Build the crematorium, build the crematorium, build the crematorium. Auditorium, hearse garage, crematorium. Unlocks all these other things. Small, columbrium, variant A. Oh, but this doesn't actually have, kind of like, it doesn't let you connect off of it. So that's kind of like a little dead end spot. So it fits nicely in that corner. What if we were to do burial site circle junction? Okay. Burial site corner A. I see. Is there a corner B? Corner B end. Oh, and that just is a dead end. Burial site circle junction. Let's do a circle junction. But that's like a T shape. Oh, I'm understanding. Because then I can just use regular pathing. Oh, no. This is going to be so much. It's so much. It's a goofy edge there, but that's okay. And then this could come and connect right into here. Actually, better yet, this can go straight. This can go straight. This can come down and connect right up and in. Because then we have other entrances that we could utilize for this kind of city park, for Pollock Park. Because then this can turn over here and connect into there. We'll do my tried and true favorite thing to do, which is make little triangles. And it kind of gives it some purpose. Now, it's by no means done, but that's more than enough. We're paying $110,000 a month to keep this thing running, and it's got 3,455 spots. We'll continue that as we keep expanding, but that gives like something in Pollock Park to ground it. I love that. Love that. So now we got healthcare and death care. Trash, we could benefit from having some trash over here. And I almost think we grab the recycling center. We grab recycling. We've got 2 different kinds. They do exactly the same thing. Where is the airflow? Is the air going away from the city? It is. So I almost think you come in here. There is going to be a light here. We'll add that back. No need for crosswalks, but there will be a light. And the reason for the light is I think right in this area could go this recycling center. I don't know how big it is. That one's quite small. Japanese recycling center. And then this is the regular. But I think we do the regular right here. And we'll disguise it with trees. You won't really be able to see it. I am going to shimmy this over so it lines up with the edge of the recycling center. I know now no one has power. Don't you worry. Don't fret. I'm not going to abandon you like that. You're going to get power. There you go. Now you're back up and running. Because then we put a line of trees there. That blocks all of this. And you're golden. Oh, and there's expansions. What does this do? First, let's do this. You're going to work here, here, and I guess you need to service this area too. I'm going to get a little cheeky with it and like really be mindful of putting these things connected to districts, which might bite me in the butt. So now you service these 3 districts. Do you need a district? You don't. Okay, all this is great. Then I think we need to get some education and research. I definitely know we want to have some kind of elementary school. We probably are going to need 2. Let's do the EE elementary school. It's a little bit larger. Although I don't know exactly where it would go. Maybe it's too large. What if we did... I do love the way this USA Northeast Elementary School looks. It could maybe go like right off this main road. Or maybe on this corner. Right? Just like so. You're going to service this area. So don't get funky fresh. You're going to just service here. But then what we could do, we've got this expansion, which we don't need at the moment. We could do like a park or something near it. And then we could have some parking or something behind it. Is there a park that would fit kind of perfectly in this spot? I do want to do a large sports field in a moment. Ooh, almost. We could have done the community pool. I guess the community pool could go next door. And we call it like a part of the school. Like this is, the school's got a really good swimming team. They've got a pool. Normally it'd be indoors, but we can make that work. Then can we fit some parking just behind here? That would work. This one doesn't work, although it would work on the side here, almost like the lot for the schoolyard. Or this could go like across the street, and this is the school lot. Had to go across the street, couldn't fit anywhere else. This could fit. And then that gets too big. This technically fit. I just want to see it. And it's like parking for the school. Oh my gosh. I wasn't planning on doing that. But I guess we kind of have to, no? We extend that out so it looks like it goes that direction. And I think we just tie these 2 together here and make this like a perfect 90. I think we also just bring this back in. We don't need that little edge. Now, people are going to cross over and park in that direction. That's okay. But that makes that kind of all a part of the school itself. I don't love the community pool. I wanted to love the community pool. I don't love the community pool. We could get a tennis court. Part of me thinks it just needs to be a park, though. If we put it along the main road on this corner here, it means that what we could do is we could take this section of path, extend that out, just like so. Although there's a fence on it, we will extend the grass right there, and we'll put down just plain grass, unmowed, in front and behind the parking lot. All right, so there's like our little elementary school kind of set up there. I like that. Gives you a little bit of breath before you get too far in. That is the elementary. Now we need a high. If I scroll down a little bit further, I do love this Netherlands high school. Now these are colleges. I don't want a college. The French high school wouldn't make sense. The modern high school could be cool. Or we've got the space. We could think about doing like one of these larger buildings out here. It wouldn't make sense at the moment because it would be so far removed from everything. The city high school is also nice, and this technically is the city, so this would give us a nice building to kind of fill in the area. It fits perfectly. All right, it's going to go this way. It's going to face the park. We're going to have this out there facing the park. It's got its expansions. We don't need either of those now. We're going to limit it to work just in the city of Toll, which right now has no one in it, but it will soon. It will soon. I think for now we'll hold on a college or research center or any of that. We don't need any of that. We do have this Chinese library, but we're not going to build that just yet. All right, now we need fire and we need police. I am partially tempted. We unlocked the police headquarters, I think a few episodes ago. I think we unlocked the fire station finally. And we place a larger fire station over here. I like that this has got just like a nice strong corner. So what if we place this right here? Again, you're going to function in this area. You will have a helicopter. But that helicopter is only going to service this section. So it doesn't actually benefit anyone over here. This city has not paid to have a helicopter. And then we also need police, which another like cool corner building would be a great addition. And they fit so nicely in here. Why would I not? Should the police be along this road? Juniper Street just kind of has all of the services. And then I guess we need busing, but we'll figure the busing out once we keep going. The last thing over here we're going to need is communications. We definitely want to have some kind of post office. I think the post office should be actually over this area, like kind of central. This is just the generic. Old post office. Ooh, an old post office. Right off the main road? Or right on the main road? Hold on. Juniper Street? Juniper Street. There's two roads that intersect one another, both named Juniper Street. If this went right here, doesn't have any add-ons. Old post office. Oh yeah, it's a mod that I downloaded. Who made this? Name, old post office, created by Detective93. Thank you for a great mod. Because this is a beautiful building. Look at that. It's definitely going on the main road. Once there's trees in the middle, that'll be amazing. Yeah, no, I like that a lot. All right, this is going to work here in the city of Toll, Pollock Junction. Great. And I think what we'll do instead is we will name Juniper Street. We're just going to name it Main Street. Now, I don't like to name roads in this game because they never stick. It always changes and I can't stand it. But for that road, we'll name it. Only other thing we need is internet, which I think we use just the regular radio mast. I could actually get the telecom tower. Again, we've got the points for it. We're at the point now where like, why not? Let's unlock the telecom tower, and it's going to be quite large. But if this was over here in Junction, like that would work just fine. I almost want to have it over here in Junction, but have it off of its own little road. Right? We do this. We go here. We place this right along here. And now this whole side of the map is covered. Now, as we get some density in here, it's definitely going to reduce the effectiveness of this. But for now, that'll work. Okay. We've got this together. Now we got to build the rest of the city. So let's just figure out what kind of zoning we want in here. I think we're definitely going to start with the highest density in the center, and then we'll slowly fan out suburbs as we go. What if we tried the southwest high density housing? Right here we have a high school. We have a police station. I think we would want to have some high density housing maybe in this block. Right along here. I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know what it's going to look like. We'll see. Those are the 4 buildings that decide to zone in, so we're going to actually just clear this off. Then we'll stick some mediums in there as well. Is there southwest mediums? There are. I don't know if any are that large. What if I fill in kind of some southwest mediums along both sides, see what we get? If I get rid of that one so we can hopefully fill in. See, it's leaving some gaps. I don't love that it's leaving gaps, but we're going to see what this looks like. It could look terrible. Let's be real. And then I think for commercial, I do want some high density commercial. I think what we could do is we could have high density commercial definitely on this corner. Get some buildings along there. This is the main street, so I think we could have another big block of high-density commercial right here. For offices, we use a lot of the Northeast. The Chinese offices get really tall, though, and I don't necessarily want really tall office buildings over here. So we're just going to do the Northeast office buildings, and maybe we'll do some like generic office. We'll have some office that goes maybe along this block here. Maybe that far back. We're going to have at least one really tall building. I'm okay with that. And then maybe here we have a little bit of office that goes along the front. Although I don't know if we actually have any demand for office at this point. We have a ton of demand for business. So why don't we go ahead and just give some more business right here. Do I have no other like styles of high density businesses? I've got a bunch of low density options, but no other high density? That's interesting. And we could do some Southwest mixed use housing. And then that might be, this building is going to be way too large. That building is going to be way too large. Maybe not, but my gut is telling me it's going to be too big. We then need low density housing. We don't have a ton of low density. We do have some options to make it look denser. Kind of want to have some row housing over here. Like, let's do some of the Southwest. I was thinking I was going to save the Southwest for the tourist island that we're going to end up building over here. But there's no reason we can't also build it over this way. Or do we get a little fun with it and we add in maybe the EU buildings? Like, what is this? That's a Southwest. Like, that's perfect. That little guy right there, it's 2 back. I really like that. But we just desperately need low density. So maybe we just go ahead and start zoning out low density and we see how that goes. I kind of want to use the Southwest. We've done that a little bit over here. If I was to just go like this, I don't know if I'd like what I would get. Like a 3x3 all along here would look pretty nice. And it would leave a space in the middle. Maybe this does actually have space in the middle. Maybe I don't need to fill every single block. If I do a 3x3, another 3x3, maybe we do a 2x2 there. People want these houses so bad, this housing type, that this is not going to be very hard to fill all this in. Along here, we'll do the same thing, but these might get quite large, depending on how they build. Ooh, and this already rotated. I love that. All this can get some zoning here as well. Those are actually 4, so they're a little bit larger. Okay. It's already looking different than our other city. Like, that's about as much. Okay, this, though... You know what? No. These 3 here, they're all too large. This is the perfect amount of height and density. Like, that's exactly what we want in this spot. What's going on with this little moment? I mean, I guess that could just be a park. Right? Like, there's the ones that shoot straight back. Hold on. That fits perfectly. There we go. We got a little plaza there. Yeah, like, see how it's dense, but it's still short. And this city needs it to be short. Let's speed this up and see what these houses look like. They're not going to be my favorite right off the bat. But I think as they begin to zone in and begin to upgrade, they're going to start to make a lot more sense in this area. With that, though, I do think we need at least a transition block. Let's turn off this guy. Let's switch to Southwest housing. We have to have a block that transitions things over. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Fill this whole thing in. Ooh, actually, you know what? This is the perfect spot to have this go this way. No? Yeah, there we go. Get rid of this. Have this go this direction. Then we can fill this in. And then we can just fill this whole center section in. This is the transition block that's going to then go from this density over into these homes. I think we could also consider taking some of these and turning them into the medium density. We've got the row homes interspersed, and I think that works really nicely. It kind of disguises all these buildings. Now, if I go 2 by 2, can't really fit it to there, but if I turn off snap to road, I think the white dot is kind of where things begin. Right? Yeah. Then we can do something like this. That's all zoning in. Let's speed it up. Let it continue to zone. Oh, actually, we still have these blocks here that we've not done yet. I don't exactly know what's going to happen over here, to be totally honest. I think I want just more residents. I have no demand for more residents. We have way more demand for offices. Is this just wrecking our unemployment? 4.3? Oh my God. That's not great. It's not great. It could be way better. I guess it, in some respect, could be way worse, but it's not looking awesome. All of this here could just be row homes. I know it could be considered a little boring, but I think it keeps the height just kind of keeps control of the height, rather. Actually, maybe this section isn't this. Maybe instead, this block here, A, gets a pathway that comes right from here, right across to here, and connects in because this area here is going to have a park in it. Then right here we do a few more buildings just to help bring that height back down. I'm hesitant to do more of the southwest mixed use, but I could absolutely see us doing a different kind of mixed use over here. Or we do this urban promenade and we get like fancier buildings kind of right on that corner. Like that block is a newer development than what we had before. Okay, let's give this some trees. I think once we put some trees in here, it's going to feel so much nicer. I am going to lock the trees that I place. In these areas, we're just going to stick some in the openings. All through here, I can just use the brush tool. I'm going to reduce the size of this brush and reduce the intensity. I find the brush tool is very intense with its tree placement. All right, we got some trees there. We got some trees here. Can fit some over there. Those are exactly the same, but they butt up against each other in an interesting way, so I think I'm okay with it. Can't fit any more there. Right along here, we've got this train, and we've got this section. So I do want to have some trees that kind of fan around this area. Maybe on both sides. This can be like a little bit of a forested section. We'll do some alders around here because they're already in this area as well. There's a ton of people moving in. That's to be expected. We've got a train coming. There's 130 people on the train. Someone mentioned they don't like the purple, I think for the monorails, and I agree. I think I need to go through and change all the colors of these. I do think we need to change the name of this line because now it's no longer Walden to Kerman. This is, it's technically called Daisy Field, but I think we're going to name this Downtown to Toll. There we go. Got a little traffic here too. What's going on there? Just a little bit. You're fine. Otherwise, this looks pretty decent. This needs to be emptied out. Can I do... Oh, you can't do that in this game. You can't empty the dead bodies. I forgot. I think it continues to expand out. Like, we've got a lot of flat land right over here. All of this gets, I think, this same kind of block treatment where we've got zoning, but we purposefully leave space in between so that it's a little bit nicer to look at. And in fact, we always need more southwest. So let's go ahead and send the southwest 3 or 4 back, but no more than that. I will platter 1 or 2 in here just because that looks a little ridiculous. And I can fit a 2 right there. And honestly, let's just make this easy on myself. This can go right here. Let's go ahead and place tree-lined road all the way down the center. I'm also going to use, I think, tiny alders along this road. I think we do it. I think we do tiny alders all the way along that road. It just makes it nice and lush and green. And then we also have this avenue that goes this way, which I guess could really be, this could have been more of a commercial strip here. And I'm already regretting what I've done. Because I do think having a commercial strip there would actually be a little bit nicer. If I get rid of like all of this, we've already got people living along this road, which is fine. But if instead people were zoning along there, that could be really decent. That could be really decent. And we do need more commercial. Let's do the southwest. Like, we're going to lean in. I'm going to do southwest all through here, and we're going to do southwest all through here, and we're going to see just kind of how it turns out. If they all end up being the same building, then we might make some adjustments. But for now, we're going to let that go. Then I think really the last thing we need to do is just fill out kind of this block here, this little square we've got. I did want to fit in... It's not going to fit here. But I did want to fit in like a large park of some kind. And maybe that goes down here in this block. Or maybe that goes like over in one of these areas. It almost fits in these blocks here. Almost. Technically, it conflicts with the supports of the train. But like, what if, because now we're after the train line, what if this block expanded a little bit? We stick a field underneath, turn everything back on, snap to this, snap to the side of this. It's going to change how obviously this intersection works. I'm okay with that. But now we've got like a little field in here too, which I think just looks a little bit nicer. Now we get this weird intersection. Don't love. Let's go ahead and just upgrade this. Now again, tons of people moving in, but this is just the initial influx. Once they get in here, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Honestly, this is going to be a neighborhood. But it's going to be like a little bit different. It's going to be unique in that it's going to come out and it's going to come over just like so. Maybe even give all of this an alleyway. It's just going to be something a little different than what we've done elsewhere in this area. We're going to remove this zoning. The zoning's along that road. I'm going to remove this zoning. I'm going to remove this zoning. I'm going to remove this zoning. And if I remove that, we get some zoning there, which does work. Because then what we could do is we could come in here with these southwest houses. I almost think we get rid of the roundabout because it's just going to make things more complicated than it needs to be. Because then I can come in here with this and I can go 1, 2, 3. I can do this here. I can do a set of 3s here. Then I can re-add the zoning back. Maybe not. Maybe my idea didn't work. That's okay. Do it that way. Get rid of these 3. Let them all zone there. That's fine. And I think we fill it with trees. Keep it simple. No need to make it more complicated than it has to be. But there we go. I think that's actually a really strong start to this little city. We've still got to work on the park. We've got to do some more public transit. I think, though, what I want to do is take a break from that and come over here because I kind of forgot that I could use this as both the ferry stop and as the stop for the buses. Now, this might be a little challenging, but we're going to figure out how to stick this guy right here. It needs to go along the wall, the ground, and back up to a road. I don't think it works in the same way as the other one. So if I come in here and I delete this stop, and I delete all of this, and then let's just go here and just get rid of both of these. Sorry, I know you guys like just got your lives together and now I'm over here wrecking things. But I'm going to turn off what's going on there. You should be fine. Relax. And we're going to bring out a little bit of land. Just like this. Can I place this right along here? I can. Just like so. I placed it a little quickly. I actually think I want it to be moved over a little bit. Because then this can come out here. It can get the bus terminal upgrade. We can then change all of these buses. So like this orange bus will just come down into here. This white bus, come down into here. This purple bus, come down into here. No need for any of these buses anymore. Get rid of this unit entirely. Opened up a brand new block. I don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but we've opened up a brand new block. We could reduce the size of this and probably just send it straight on back. Yep. Yep. It can go kind of right along the side there. Then we add the key wall back on. If I anarchy the key wall on, does it consider it disconnected? It does. Okay, so then we got to do this way. A little bit more complicated than I wanted, but you got to do what you got to do. I'm going to use anarchy to build 2 roads. We put the key wall back on, and then we get rid of these 2 roads. With some like light rock work along both sides, that's going to be perfect. Okay. Now we just need to reconnect this all back up. It was actually a quite easy fix. Easier than I thought it was going to be. This can still feed over this way. Then we need to take our lines. We had the white line coming over to here. So the white line can go there. And then we had a dark purple or dark blue line even going from here over to here and back again. And I never actually checked the usage. I should have done that. This is great. I'm such a fan. Now, part of me wonders, now that we've got that space opened, do we change this crematorium, sneak it back here, and open up this space right along the waterfront? Because that's now an option that we didn't have before. But I think that's something we'll have to figure out in the future. Alright guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.